final match of the Conference League group stages, and the press conference would make you believe that it was anything but. Shamrock Rovers are within 4 points and can finish just 1 point behind us in this group phase. It was a very strange press conference. Obviously, questions were needed to be asked, but just the sheer amount of questions is the same question, just in different formats. Shout out to the one and only. It's 10 o'clock. I think he dealt with the questions very, very well. Very well indeed. Please do like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. And yeah, only like 2 or 3 questions were asked about the game. And again, obviously, a lot of speculation, a lot of attention over the whole Mikhail Mudryk situation. But the fact of the matter is, it's embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing from the English media or the media in general at the press conference to just ask, like many of them, many, if not the majority of the reporters at the press conference were just asking only questions about Mudryk and not like, oh, and my last question is about the game. It took the Irish reporter to be the first person to actually say, like, I'm going to ask you a question here that isn't about that and is actually about the game, because that is why we're here. Slightly disrespectful to Shamrock Rovers, the fact that barely anyone asked any questions, but shout out to him for actually, addressing what the whole point is for being there for this game. With that said, we're none the wiser on the Mudryk situation. The club are supporting him, and that's about it. We got about as much more information out of it than they're obviously not going to say anything. Maresca's obviously not going to say anything. He's been told not to say anything about this game. Listen, I need to see the table in just a little bit more detail, because listen, Shamrock Rovers, they're on one. They're on one. 6th in the group stage phase. 3 wins, 2 draws, 0 losses. They are unbeaten with 11 goals scored and 4 goals conceded. 7 goal difference, 11 points. They've drawn to Apoel Nicosia. They've beaten Lana. They've beaten TNS. Which one's TNS, do you reckon? TNS. I mean, that's literally their name is TNS. They've also drawn to Rapid Vienna. Borac Banja Luka they've beaten. And now they come up against top place Chelsea, who need just a draw to secure a first place finish, as Vitória de Guimarães, who, if I'm not mistaken, the way that it stands at the moment, we go straight through to the round of 16, and if they finish second, we finish first. I'm fairly sure the way that it goes, it will be the winner of our game and the winner of their game. We will face each other in that capacity. Basically, if Vitória win their round of 16 game, we win, and our round of 16 game, we will face each other in the quarterfinals, is how it stands at the moment. But in terms of this game, listen, we are going to be resting a lot more players. It's going to be a complete swap of 11 once again, and I'm not going to go through all the visuals of it as I usually do, but you know what we are going to be expecting. I will say, just briefly, what I think it's going to be in the Conference League. I mean, it's going to more so be the game against Astana that I can see it being, because we're through. Unless we lose, Vitória de Guimarães can overtake. But again, Guiu already on the front page of the, the advertising on Twitter and all that sort of thing. So you can expect him to start. Raksaki's brilliant performance against Astana. You can imagine he's going to play. Chukwuemeka, Dewsbury Hall did well. Tyreek George, it was said that he might get minutes. Amidst obviously a sort of situation where his left midfield spot is up for grabs. Do I think that Tyreek George is really in the running for a permanent spot in the Premier League? Absolutely not just yet. However, fitness of other players, Neto's more than likely our left-handed side. I'm trying to think. So Neto's back for Everton. So I can't imagine he'll play. Sancho will be back for Everton, or will be playing for against Everton. So he won't play more than likely, and it's Sancho, so he's not going to play in the Conference League anyway. Mudrik's not there, so it's probably going to be Madueke on the right, George on the left, Guiu up top with Raksaki, Chukwuemeka, and Dewsbury Hall in the middle. Achimpong, signed, sealed, delivered. He is a Chelsea player for at least another 5 years if he sees out his contract. That was supposed to expire in June of 26, so a year more on that. He's got a 5-year extension, so is that 6 years? I don't know. Is it 4 years added on, so make it 5 years? But either way, him, I can see, again, tossing Disasi and Vega and Jorgensen in goal. So more or less, with the inclusion of Madueke over Pedro Neto, I can see it being a virtually identical starting 11. Will we see Christopher and Nkunku? Potentially. But again, I don't see... Well, maybe. We might see him come off the bench, but then he hasn't been playing a lot in the Premier League at all. But he only got a couple of minutes, did he not, against... who we played most recently? Brentford. In that game, he came on very, very briefly, or was it for like 14 minutes or so? So, our only substitution in that game. Could we see Cucurella? Could we see Cucurella play on the left back in this game? It's potential. There is potential for it. Obviously, he's now not going to be playing against Everton because of his one match ban because of getting sent off after the game against Brentford. But obviously, just 2 yellow cards, so it's a 1-game ban. We saw that with Neto. Neto played against Astana because he was going to be missing the Brentford game. Madueke stayed at home. And then obviously played against Brentford. Are we going to see that? And then Vega feature in the game against Everton on the weekend? It's likely. It's likely. So scratch what I said. I could see it absolutely being Cucurella on the left and Vega will be rested. Unless, of course, we go for a back 3, Caicedo on the right back. All that sort of stuff. It's possible. It's possible. Predictions for this game. Listen, let me just very, very quickly get up the results for their games in the Conference League, not the Champions League, the Conference League. See, now they haven't had a goalless draw. 1-1, 4-1 win, 2-1 win, 1-1 draw, 3-0 win. Unbeaten, but a stack load of goals scored in their games. TNS are the new Saints, by the way, just to clarify that one. 3-0 in their last game, 1-1 away from home, a win and a draw, Drew to Rapid Vienna in their most recent away game. Rapid Vienna are in 9th. They're really vying for that automatic qualification. I can see it being 3-1. I think Shamrock Rovers are going to score. I do think they will score, but I think it will be 3-1 to Chelsea, and we will go through unbeaten. Let me know your thoughts on the whole situation regarding Mudryk. Obviously, we know now what the drugs were, or the situation more specifically with regards to what it is he took. If you recall what I was saying, it was more of like the USC situation where it's like tainted supplements. Maybe someone set him up. That was the story that I was going to go with, and it does seem now that that's what Mudryk's going to go with. So it's the most plausible one, other than he's just done it. But I don't think that that's the case. So until we have some more information, I'm not going to speak on it anymore in the form of like a video, unless there's like breaking news, the B sample comes in, all that sort of stuff. But until we know further, there's no point speculating any further. Do you know what I mean? So let me know your thoughts on the game. And if you want to say anything on the Mudryk situation in the comments, let me know. Please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. It's 10 o'clock. I will be live 30 minutes before the game, and the game kicks off at 8 p.m. UK time, so 7:30 p.m. UK time. Until then, my name is Harry Up the Chels, and peace.